Good morning, students. Welcome to online learning class. Today we are going to learn about the revolt of 1857. Let's start. There were many causes that led to this revolt. It was like a fire that had been burning slowly since long. But the immediate cause was the dissatisfaction in the army. There were many Indian soldiers in the British army. These soldiers were not given any respect by the British officer. Many of the Indian soldiers were quite able and intelligent, but they were not given higher positions. All higher positions were given to the British officer. This created great discontentment in the hearts of the Indian soldiers. They were full of hatred for their British master. On 29th March 1857, an Indian sepoy named Mangal Pandey killed two British officers on parade. The other Indian soldiers who were present there refused to arrest Mangal Pandey. The news spread like wildfire. Soon a countrywide revolt broke out. The first big spark started in Meerut on 10th May 1857. The soldiers, along with groups of civilians, went on the rampage shouting Maro Firangi Ko. They broke open jails, murdered European men and women, burnt their houses, and marched to Delhi. Similar things happened in Ambala, Lucknow, and Berhampur, Odisha. At Delhi, the soldiers declared Bahadur Shah Jafar their leader. He was 80 years old and was the last Mughal emperor of India. The Hindus and Muslims of India showed great unity. They were all one in this revolt. It was the most positive point of this revolt. No doubt, the revolt began as a mutiny of soldiers, but soon it turned into a people's revolt against the British rule in India. It was, in fact, the first war of India's independence. The heroine of this war was Lakshmi Bai, the brave Rani of Jhansi, who died fighting on 17th June 1858. Other important leaders who took part in this revolt were Nana Saheb Peshwa, Tatia Tope, Kuvar Singh, Rao Singh, Ajimullah Khan, and Begum Hazrat Mahal of Awadh. See, children, the revolt of 1857 was a prolonged period of armed uprising as well as rebellions in northern and central India against British occupation of that part of the subcontinent. Later, a large-scale rebellion broke out in May and turned into what may be called a full-fledged war in the affected region. The revolt of 1857 was the conscious beginning of the independence struggle against the colonial tyranny of the British. There are various names for the revolt of 1857. India First War of Independence, Sepoy Mutiny, etc. The revolt began on May 10, 1857 at Meerut as a Sepoy Mutiny. It was initiated by Sepoy in the Bengal Presidency against the British officer. This War of Independence marked the end of rule by the British East India Company. Post this, India was directly ruled by the British government through representatives known as Governor General. These articles provide all relevant information related to the revolt of 1857 and its causes and effects. This is an important topic for the civil service and other government exams. The immediate factor was the introduction of the Enfield rifle. The main causes of the revolt of 1857 was initiated due to various factors which are stated religious and social causes. Racism and racial discrimination was believed to be a major reason for the revolt of 1857, wherein Indians were exploited and were kept away from mixing with Europeans. The whites also started interfering in the religious and cultural affairs of Indians and tortured them as well. To know more about the social causes of revolt of 1857, refer to the political causes. The British expansion had led to the propagation of unjust policies that led to the loss of power of the Nawab and Jamindar. Now see, failure of the revolt. Sadly, Indians were not fully united at that time. They were also not well organized, so the revolt of 1857 failed in its object. The British put it down most cruelly. The two sons of Bahadur Shah Jafar were killed. Their heads were cut off and presented to their father. Bahadur Shah Jafar was arrested and kept in prison in Myanmar, Burma. Hundreds were tied to the mouth of cannons and blown up. Thousands were hanged. See children, the main causes of failure of the revolt of 1857. The revolt was eventually not successful in ousting the British from the country because of several factors. The sepoys lacked one clear leader. They were several. They also did not have a coherent plan by which the foreigners would be routed. Indian rulers who aided the revolt did not envision any plan for the country. After the British were defeated, majorly northern India was affected by this revolt. The three presidencies of Bengal, Bombay and Madras remained mostly unaffected. The Sikh soldiers also did not take part in the rebellion. Now, end of the East India Company rule. The revolt of 1857 resulted in great bloodshed. The British government now felt that India could not be ruled by a private company, so the control of the country was taken away by the East India Company. India was placed under the direct rule of the British Crown. A Governor General was appointed as the King's representative to rule India. However, no change came with the government. Indians were still treated very badly. There was again a rule of oppression and suppression by the British. The flame of freedom was smothered for a time, but it was waiting to erupt with greater heat and power. See, Parliament continued to control the East India Company by extending its charter for only 20 years at a time. Those granted in 1793, 1813, 1833 and 1853 successfully whittled away the company's commercial rights and trading monopolies. Its last remaining monopoly over the China tea trade was abolished in 1833. The 1833 Charter Act invested the Board of Control with full authority over the company and further increased the power of the Governor General. Indian Rising in 1857. The Indians rose in revolt against high-handed and oppressive company rule. End of company rule. The company lost all its administrative power following the Governments of India Act of 1858, and its Indian possession and armed forces were taken over by the Crown. Rule of the country shifted from the directors of the company to a Secretary of State for India advised by a council whose members were appointed by the Crown. The Crown also directly appointed by the Governor General or Viceroy or provincial governors in India. The East India Company itself was formally dissolved by Act of Parliament in 1874. Thus began the British Raj, direct imperial rule of India by the British state. Now, my points to remember. About 500 years ago, some European countries decided to trade with India. These countries started fighting with each other to gain control over the trade. At last, the British won and drove away all others. They established a trading company called the East India Company. The company became more and more powerful day by day. It captured many parts of India. The company took away all the wealth and made India a poor country. Farmers, weavers, traders, Nawab and kings were all full of hatred for the company. In 1857, there was a big revolt against the company rule, but it was crushed mercilessly. The British government now ended the rule of the company over India. India was placed under the direct rule of the British government. However, the rule of operations and suppressions still continued. That's all for today. Thank you, students.